Like any clothing, it's dependent on context. If you're in a business meeting and you're...
What's wrong with a bit of a boob in a business meeting? How else
Yeah.
are women supposed to negotiate what they want?
If your business is like beach volleyball or something, then maybe.
What?
Or, I don't know.
Look at you, a bit conservative. Who knew? No extreme opinions today.
What?
From Rahul Bhattacharya.
Yeah, in my head I have the music playing right now. Do-do-do. Welcome to Sounds Extreme, the podcast where we talk about things that we think are normal, but people say that they sound extreme. I think I went on a different track with my intro this time.
You did. Welcome to Sounds Extreme. I'm Saloni.
I'm Rahul.
And I guess I agree. We talk about things that sound extreme. Now we're doing two intros.
Yeah.
I think we just live in a society where a lot of things that should be normalized have become extreme.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot more people clashing nowadays because there's coming into contact with each other that might not have before, and that's...
Thanks to the internet and AI.
Yeah.
And freedom.
Social media.
Yeah.
Polarization, all of those things. But yeah, there's a lot...
And billionaires, obviously.
You know, everything is kind of become bite-sized chunks of information where there's less discussion, less nuance. So, yeah. Things that sound extreme in a one-sentence tweet might not necessarily be as extreme, at least we think.
Yeah, that is true. And I think that's why we started the podcast, because this is very normal for us. We have these conversations off camera all the time, and we notice that there's a little bit of a gap on the internet where you don't have a lot of people discussing some of the things that we talk about who are brown and young.
Yeah.
And fall into our category, you know, in their 30s, don't have kids.
Yep. Yeah.
Come from very cultural backgrounds. So I think there's a little bit of a gap there, which is where we come in.
Yay.
And today I'm wearing a bra.
Oh, okay. No more wardrobe malfunctions.
No more nip slips. I am well prepared. It's so funny because I didn't even feel it. There was no wind.
Yeah, true. I mean, maybe I should do it to balance it out.
Sure.
No.
But yes, I'm fully prepared today for anything that could happen. Just for context, in the last episode, there was a bit of a nip slip. And because of that, while editing, I had to blur out my whole region. Because otherwise, you know,
Yeah.
it's too extreme.
Yeah. I mean... It shouldn't be, it's one of those things that shouldn't be a problem, but
Exactly.
It is.
Maybe that's
Yay.
a topic. Are visible boobs in public extreme or not?
Yeah. Is that our topic today? No. I'm not prepared for that. I mean, sure, I could be.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that is a good topic. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't see what's wrong with it. I mean, like any clothing, it's dependent on context, right? Like if you're in a business meeting and you're...
What's wrong with a bit of a boob in a business meeting?
Yeah.
How else are women supposed to negotiate what they want?
If your business is like beach volleyball or something, then maybe.
What?
Or
Why can't you be a lawyer in a conference?
Or, yeah. We're not there yet. I mean, ideally it shouldn't be a thing. We're human beings. We love business clothes and projecting status and stuff. So maybe it's not appropriate there. But I don't know.
Look at you, a bit conservative. Who knew?
I'm not,
No extreme opinions today.
What?
From Rahul Bhattacharya.
no, but I think the same rules should apply to both.
Yeah, but if we're okay with like makeup and heels in professional jobs with suits, then we should also be okay with a bit of boob.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I'm not saying no.
I'll quickly backtrack.
I'm not saying no. Fine. I don't think there's a problem with bodies.
Yeah, me neither. Men's bodies, I don't know. Women's bodies are amazing.
Yeah. No objections here. Or is it we solved that?
Sure. If anything, I think like we've taken it too far in terms of, you know, what's okay in public and what isn't, because women can't breastfeed in public
Yeah.
in so many places, and that sounds extreme to me.
That they can't breastfeed. Yeah.
Because there is a child and a mother there, and the child is hungry and needs food.
Yeah.
So what a great way to isolate women from society. Just keep them inside the house.
Where they belong. No, maybe we should start shaming the children.
Yeah.
You know?
Just like slap a child for wanting food.
If you see a woman breastfeeding, you'd slap the kid. Like, don't you know social norms?
But also, who are these people being aroused by women breastfeeding?
Yeah, actually,
It's
it's
not
a bit weird.
like, I don't know, is that a borderline, could you be called a pedophile? You can't be called a child, so could you be called a pedophile if you're aroused by a woman breastfeeding?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't let you around parents then. That's
Parents or
odd.
children?
Or children.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't let you around children either.
Or milk.
Or milk. Any kind of
Stay
like
away from-
dairy.
yeah, stay away
from the cows.
You're saying women are cows.
No, but dairy just makes me think of cows and not women.
Yeah. Stay away from the back of the supermarket.
Well, yeah, okay. So we've settled that people who have a problem with women breastfeeding in public are pretty much classified pedophiles.
Yeah.
And parents and elderly who have a problem with young daughter-in-laws and women wearing short clothes are incestual.
Oh, yeah. Sure. Let's do that. A lot of people will be very confronted by that.
Yeah, because I mean, why are these older men, women have a different issue altogether. We can get to that later, like the mother-in-laws, there are bigger problems there. But why are father-in-laws and uncles and, chachas and mamas and stuff looking at women's legs or arms or stomachs, the women in their own family?
Oh, yeah.
It's creepy.
Boys will be boys.
It's creepy AF.
Men go to men. No?
How's that gonna
Urges.
urges? So then they are
Impulses.
sexually thinking about their daughters and daughter-in-laws and nieces.
Yeah, it's creepy when you unpack the logic. They shouldn't be looking in the first place. No, but they'll want to protect them from other men.
Right. So they're just like temporarily looking at them the way other men are looking at them.
Yeah, yeah. It's like how we get, like, the food that we eat gets tested first to make sure it's, like, safe.
Sure.
No, that's a bad example. It's like a protection before they go out into, like a vaccine, a social vaccine.
So these
Where you protect them from
elderly men in the
diseases.
family are the vaccine, or is what
Yes.
they're doing the vaccine?
What they're doing is the vaccine to protect them from other worse harm. They're giving them like a dose of mini harm that conditions their immune system in their bodies against the bigger threat of the outside men, the bad men.
I'm confused. I'm very lost.
Yeah, they do like mini kind of abuse at home, like by shaming them for their clothes.
It's not shaming. They're raping. They're molesting. They're touching women the wrong way.
Yeah.
So
okay.
it's not just shaming.
Okay, now, yeah, okay.
How could you say that?
Okay, fine. I backtrack from the vaccination thing.
I'm kidding.
Fine. You're messing with me. We discussed that I had to be more expressive so I'm just going for it now.
Yeah, but you gotta find a
I'm going for it.
No, I get what you're saying, but on a very serious note, like there's a problem there. There's a problem that
There's a problem that families are looking at their women's bodies in a weird way. Men.
Men.
Yeah.
You can't turn into newspapers and
Oh yeah, both sides.
media that just says families.
Well, both sides are at fault. No, I'm kidding. Yes, men look at or impose these weird rules on the women and their families and stuff out of defending norms, but it actually reveals something weird that's going on.
Yeah, where does it, like, what is going on? I think that's where I get very confused. Like, what is actually going on there?
It's reducing women to like sexual objects.
All women, but also like daughters and daughter-in-laws and nieces and, sisters. I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird because we usually portray women in families as like divine in some way or like above, so pure and good. But then this is an example of where that whole image that we present of how we actually see women in our society that kind of falls apart, because at the end of the day we do see them as sexual objects that should be covered and like kept for their man.
Yeah, sexual objects with no sexual desires of their own, right? Because we're not expecting mothers and aunts and mother-in-laws to be turned on by the sons in the house.
Yeah.
Even the women are capable of having multiple orgasms. So if
Yeah.
anybody has a bigger sex drive, it's us.
Sure.
But we're fully capable of not feeling turned on out of context. Because
What?
we see a male body, like
Oh.
just we see a topless man walking from the bathroom
They
to
can't
his
control.
room,
Yeah.
to his room to change, and we're just like, oh my god,
Oh, yeah, sure. Yep.
the
Yeah,
rotis are burning, so we can't afford to do that.
that is a problem. Women should get a grip. No?
Yeah,
It's a very one-dimensional way of like seeing women, and harmful.
I agree.
I'm all for being objectified. Objectify me.
Are you though?
No, I don't like
You
it.
would hate it.
I don't like it.
You're just like, I'm trying to talk. My feelings are important too.
My eyes are here.
All you want is sex all the time.
Yeah, I'm surprised that logic doesn't apply to women and seeing men's bodies. I mean, in some ways, men do say that about women, that they can't be trusted, that they're like trying to, but it's always that they're trying to seduce men.
Yes, to get something out of it.
But men get super jealous about women doing stuff.
Because boys will be boys. They don't trust other men.
But they don't trust women as well. Like, men don't trust anyone.
No, men don't trust anyone. They don't trust themselves, other men, or women.
Yeah.
And hence the state of the world.
Yeah. Wow, men don't trust anyone. They trust their boys, though.
Yeah.
Boys.
No, but they don't. Not around their partners and their daughters.
Yeah, but otherwise they trust their boy. Around other unimportant women, they trust them.
Also, what
My
if
friend would
unimportant-
never do that. He's just not that guy. Once in 5th grade, he shared his pencils with me, so he would never, ever hurt someone.
It's just to hurt another woman.
Yeah.
And unimportant women in this context are just women that are not related to these men.
Yes. Or that are not potential partners.
Fucks.
Yeah. Unimportant women. You heard it here first.
Wow. Okay. We're going to read out questions today. We're going to read out questions that we received from you. If you have more questions, make sure at the end of the episode, because obviously Stay and Watch don't have a short attention span. But by the end of the episode, go on Sounds Extreme on Instagram and leave us your questions in a DM. We will keep you super secret and anonymous.
Yeah, unless you say not to, but yes.
Even then.
Yeah, okay.
Because you don't know what's best for you. I'm going to read one which I think is hilarious. I had to pick this.
Okay.
Also, whoever wrote this, just up front, please become a writer, because it's just really funny.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Sure.
Okay.
I think.
Can we talk about how half the men in their 30s are still emotionally breastfeeding? Like, how is his mother the first person he calls when we fight? Why does she have an opinion on our sex life, our holidays, even our future? Is this emotional enmeshment or just the Indian version of a threesome no one signed up for?
Ew. Emotional breastfeeding, that's gross.
This is great. This explains why I was discussing breastfeeding and incestual shit right now.
Ew. Okay, what was the first sentence?
Well, why are half the men in their 30s still emotionally breastfeeding? And
Yeah.
I guess the problem here is that his mother clearly has a large say in everything that happens
Right.
in their relationship, including their sex life. I'm not really sure what he's discussing there. I would have loved some more detail on that.
Yeah.
Oh, and it wasn't their future. It was their furniture. Sorry. My
What?
dyslexia.
Oh, yep. Okay.
Sex life, our holidays, and even our furniture. She's too big a part of the relationship, I guess.
Right.
And that's actually it's interesting. Are men emotionally breastfeeding in their 30s?
Oh, he loves his mom. He loves his mom. He loves his mother. That's what's going on here.
He's such a sweet little
Case
boy.
closed. He
know.
loves his mom and honors her by talking to her about sex.
And furniture.
Yep. No, this is weird.
Or is it sex on furniture?
I hope not. That would be a weird
Or
conversation.
furniture on sex?
Firstly, most Indian mothers deny that sex happens.
No, they know
But-
their sons are having it. They just,
Right. I guess that's why they get them married.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have some theories on this. Am I supposed to answer first, or do you want to?
Yeah, go for
Okay.
it.
I have theories on this that goes back to a theme that we often discuss in this podcast, which is gender dynamics. I'm imagining like a graphic here. I don't know if that was high enough.
Why don't you
Gender
edit for a change?
dynamics. No, I see it like flashing. But yeah, gender dynamics, where we raise boys and girls very differently. For boys, in this example, it would be that we raise them to focus on their own pursuits, like their own hobbies and stuff, while this team of like female pixies around the house that gets everything else done. Whereas we do the exact opposite with girls, where they're focused on all the prep planning kind of tasks. So what this leads to, and a way that men are victims of a patriarchal dynamic, is it leads to these infantilization. It leads to the infantilization of grown men, where they lack like basic skills and like a sense of self and autonomy, the skills to like form their own networks, the skills to have deep conversations with their peers and friends, and furthers this dynamic of this kind of like mama's boy situation. Doesn't also help that in Indian family dynamics, or like maybe brown family dynamics generally, that the partners of these women, the fathers, are, as a stereotype, emotionally...
The fathers of the men?
Yeah, the fathers of the men.
Which
and the
are
partners
pretty
of
much
the...
non-existent.
Yeah, they're emotionally unavailable. They are like distant. They're also focused on like work and providing, and sure, some of that is maybe partly not just the family's fault, but also the society in which we live, which is becoming increasingly unaffordable and requires, men and now increasingly women to work. But basically the men are absent from the women's lives. So the women seek that kind of emotional intimacy or attachment with their kids, especially their boys, in a very weird dynamic for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird for everyone.
Yeah.
Because it's weird for the boys. They don't have emotional distance from their mothers, and they're suddenly being thrust with all this like responsibility for providing emotional support that a child shouldn't have to provide to a grown adult. I've heard of families where the mother is discussing like relationship dynamics with the father and like conveying all this stuff to the kid because like she doesn't have anyone to talk to. And that's like maybe an extreme case, but it's a dynamic that solidifies the umbilical cord with the...
Yeah, look, there's a few things there. I don't think there's anything wrong with parents talking about relationship dynamics to their kids.
At what age?
Yeah, depending on the age. But I think you should find out from your family what relationships are like rather than, I don't know, YouTube, because by the time you can watch YouTube, you're watching porn. And I think before the age that they're on the internet, they should see at home what relationship dynamics are like in a healthier environment. Second, I don't think the reason that men are unavailable to their partners is because of the growing like capitalistic need to earn money.
Okay.
I think that's a very like big cop-out as an excuse, because women can earn money too. Half of this would go away if men just respected women more often and let them work and didn't expect women to stay at home and raise so many kids and just divided that stuff,
Yeah, I agree.
Whereas most men don't want their women to work as ambitiously, so then they don't bring in as much as the men do. And that's a big problem. Men can go to work and still be emotionally available.
I agree. I guess I was saying that it exacerbates a problem that was already there. But yeah.
Our grandfathers were the same, back when the rent wasn't that much and things were cheaper, men were still just douchebags.
Yeah, okay. I think it's a foundational problem.
I guess to answer her question, like, I don't know, are we blaming the mother here? Are we always blaming mothers? Is this her fault?
I think we're blaming a system, a system that gives rise to this.
There has to be someone that takes accountability, right? Like in this whole system. If it's always just the system's fault, then you can't really fix anything. I think it is purely and completely his problem to fix. The husband. You can't change other people, so sure, he could tell, like, we can hope that the mother backs off, but actually she doesn't really have a lot of power in this dynamic either. It looks like she has power, but the only person that actually has power is the husband.
Oh, of the person.
The breastfeeding boy.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. In this dynamic, I think it's up to him to do the work and become emotionally aware and self-sufficient.
Yeah, he needs to stop, like, set a boundary with his mother and stop sharing shit with her all the time and respect you as a partner, who, you know, is going to be maybe not the mother of his children one day, and you're creating a family together, with or without kids. But there needs to be a team there which is isolating of his mother, you know, like she's not a part of that team. This is not a threesome or like a poly relationship. And if it is, find someone that's not his mother, you know?
Yeah.
It's just, I think it is a lot of, like, I love the term emotional breastfeeding. I'm going to use it all the time. But because he's sucking on her, like...
Okay, yes, that's what it means.
To get all the things that he needs emotionally, instead of just digging in deeper or speaking to his partner about it. Like, if you have issues, talk to, you know, your wife or your partner. Like, stop going to your mom all the time. I don't think that's healthy for anyone. I get that men are really, like, some boys are so attached, not boys, but men are so attached to their mothers. But at the same time, I think those are the ones that don't really respect their mothers or their wives.
Okay.
There's a lack of just seeing women as human beings when you're that attached to your mother, because you value her for all her sacrifices and, you know, think that she's this amazing superwoman force of nature. And if you're actually in that in awe of your mother as a man, then it would be hard for you to look beyond all her sacrifices anyway, because then you'd think that she's the best woman and every other woman should be like her. So then if your wife isn't like her, you want her to be, right? And I think that's a big problem. Like, we just as kids need to detach from our parents after a fucking time and see our partners for who they are rather than just an extension of our parents who are going to love the inner child in us and heal them, you know?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think it's an inherent problem in our society and other collectivist societies where people show up in the society as per their roles rather than as their individuals. So in those societies, we tend to glorify the roles that people play rather than celebrate their individuality. That further entrenches some of these dynamics, so that you have things like women are expected to play like nurturing roles and men are expected to play provider roles, and that...
Are you just reading out my journal entry from today?
No. No, you wrote about this?
I read it out to you.
About the roles?
Yeah.
Oh. I don't remember the specifics. Okay, sure.
Go on.
Yeah. I lost my train of thought. Wait,
women are nurturers and men are providers.
Yeah, those are roles that they play, but then individualistic societies go the other extreme where, like, you're an individual completely independent of your own, and then that leads to other problems, like you don't know how to establish communities, and everyone is isolated and lonely and miserable and working for reasons they don't know why.
Yeah. I mean, we're definitely digressing a bit, no?
Yeah.
Because this is about her.
Yes.
So, I don't know, what feedback, if you could give her a feedback, what would you give this person? What would you tell them?
Speak to your partner and set a boundary with the partner. I would express that how it's impacting you, and request that he takes some sort of action about it, you know, sets a boundary with his mother, or talks to you about what's going on, like what is the need there, because as the two people in the relationship, it's up to you to decide, have a partnership, you know, and you can't have that with a person or a man who's always, what's the word, deferring to his mother.
Well, emotionally breastfeeding.
Yes, yuck.
Absolutely. I think I agree. Have a conversation about this. And I guess if you are going to ask him to set some boundaries, then it's very important for you to be an example of how that's done as well and set boundaries yourself. I think sometimes we get caught up in these roles that we're all supposed to play, and then what ends up happening for years is that instead of holding this husband or man accountable, where he's supposed to set the boundary and show up in different ways to you and his mother, it's just you and his mother bickering and fighting and competing for the next 20 years, and he has like a free pass and doesn't have to ever be accountable for anything, and sits around and rolls his eyes because his life is so difficult that his mother and his wife don't get along. But that's mostly because he's not doing the work, and shouldn't mean that you do the extra work or you start competing with his mother, because you're both playing very different roles. And if anything, I think this kind of a situation really like robs each of you from playing the role that you're supposed to play. Like, you're never going to be his mother, you shouldn't be, and she's really not supposed to be his wife. Like,
Yeah.
You're both have a very separate place in his life, and if he cannot see that or respect that, then maybe he's like not the right person for you.
Yeah, he can't be a partner to both his mother and his wife.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he has to make that move. Otherwise, yeah, it's that classic dynamic of like, I'm being sandwiched in the middle of my wife and my mother, but really the roles or the relationships with both of those people are not very well defined.
Yeah.
At some point, you need to stop being a partner to your mother.
Yeah, you can
Detach.
still share a really healthy relationship with a parent without welcoming them into your own relationship.
That's going to be a difficult process for him, but that's necessary.
We don't see wives as equal partners in a relationship. That's where the problem, I guess, starts and ends, right? Women that come into a family after marriage are not seen as equal to the husband.
Yeah.
She's just supposed to shut up and let the husband and the parents decide what's happening.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's just so regressive, and it's still happening all the time. And that's a conversation only you can have with him. I
Yeah.
don't know. Usually I think couples therapy really helps because we're not therapists. And we can only give you advice. And I feel like every time I read out a question, my answer is just going to be leave him. So good thing I'm not a therapist.
Yeah. I mean, people have to try and work through their issues on their own. We can only guide. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I really
Okay.
hope that advice was helpful. And if it wasn't, don't leave a comment.
Yeah. Don't do that. Okay. You've come here. I don't know why you've come here. You've come here to annoy me.
Speak, talk to
Okay.
people.
So that was part one. Am I doing the same dialogue? Why have you
Yes,
come
you're doing
next?
the same
Okay.
thing. Just do it.
Okay. So that was part one. Part two comes out next week. Make sure you subscribe.
Yes. If you don't subscribe, you won't get a notification. Bye.